The Frozen Heart is probably my favorite shield in Borderlands 3. What I really love about this shield is that it offers alternate survivability and a gameplay loop that is very, very interactive, especially with the Ass Anointment. Every time you activate your action skill, you can freeze groups of enemies in a large radius around yourself, locking them in place, and then you can go to town taking them out. To me, this is a very engaging effect compared to something like the Stopgap or the Recharger. Both of these shields are very, very strong as well, and they both work with the Ass Anointment, kind of the same way. But the difference is these shield effects aren't like felt all around you, you know what I mean? Instead, they're felt in your shield capacity and your survivability, which is perfectly fine, but I wanted to come up with 5 different shields for Borderlands 3 based on my love of the Frozen Heart shield. So that's what we're gonna be hopping into today. Before we do that, don't forget to check me out over on twitch.tv/thickfilet_. I will actually be streaming viewer games with you guys today if you're on PC. Unfortunately, there's no crossplay, but check me out over there if you want to play. Now, hopping straight into the list, number 1 is an upgrade to the Rectifier shield. Now, those of you know the Rectifier shield basically creates a shock kind of aura around you, kind of like the red suit shield, but it's a little bit different. Now, what I want this kind of shield to do is stagger enemies like Zane's Barrier Augment Detainment Field. Basically, this shield emits that shock damage all around you, pretty much the same as the Rectifier right now, but this shock damage will be able to stagger enemies. Now, this shield would be really nice against melee enemies that love to rush you. Guardian Takedown is the first thing that comes to my mind and probably all of your minds, keeping enemies off of the crystal phases just by running past them. But let's not forget about the Maliwan Takedown as well. We've got hackhounds, just dogs in general, and those Captain America wannabes trying to smack you with their batons. Number 2, I thought of this awesome concept. It is a corrosive based shield that when it is damaged, it leaves corrosive puddles all around the battlefield, making enemies slip over and fall. Now, of course, this shield sounds like a giant meme, and that's kind of the fun of it, but nothing says crowd control like a giant group of enemies falling all over the place and they're not able to aim and fire at you. Not only could this be awesome, but hopefully this is actually bugged on release to have friendly fire and make your friends fall over. I'm just kidding. Now, don't forget, you could actually probably pair a shield like this with some self-damage using a Marez driver class mod or a sellout, triggering your own corrosive puddles wherever you want. I just feel like there's some awesome possibilities with this. Also, one critique I have to this is I could imagine it not being very effective unless it maybe like launched those corrosive puddles at enemies that shot you. If there was some way to really get it like all over the battlefield rather than just leaving it right where you're standing. And as a side option, you could also have a cryo-based shield that leaves cryo puddles. I don't really know what to call a cryo puddle, but cryo areas that can like freeze and slow enemies out as well. So kind of like the same concept of the slip and slide shield, but I think I like the slip and slide shield a little bit more. Next, number 3, we have other elemental bard shield. So what do I mean by this? I mean like an armor shield. Instead of blue shield, you have yellowish green corrosive armor. Okay, so like an armor bar. This would only be weak to corrosive, and maybe it should have some heavy like damage or even like splash reduction or resistances. Or we could even go with something like a meat shield, a red bar on top, like you having 2 red bars instead of a shield bar. That'll make it so you're only weak to fire damage and you can resist all the other things as well. Now, these other shields could be really interesting. They could actually have alternate ways to refill them. Like the corrosive one, maybe you have to stand still to repair it, or when damaged, it drops these little repair kits, so kind of like a booster shield, but maybe it fills it up a lot quicker than normal boosters. And the meat shield could be recharged with health regen and life steal. That would make it really, really interesting with a skill like topped off in the Guardian rank. Having a full shield so easily because of life steal might end up being a bit broken, but it was an idea I had and I just kind of wanted to pitch. Now for number 4, there's gonna be a minority here who are gonna love this idea, and that is Moe's players. A shield that makes you completely immune to self-damage. Now, this is a pretty spicy option and honestly might end up, proving to be a bit overpowered. Like I said, I know every single Minesweeper Moe's player will be cheering for this one in the comment section down below. Self-damage is the bane of every Nukem lover. Everybody who just wants to slam backburners all over the place nonstop will have this shield on. Even niche weapons like the Scoville, the Protuberance, which have huge splash radius, could benefit from a shield like this. I don't think I need to really explain this one much further, but I know there's a bunch of players in this game who just love splash weapons, because I am one of them. Heck, you might catch me wearing one of these. And for number 5, this one is actually not a defensive one at all, but it was just a cool idea I had, so I wanted to toss it on this list. An amp shield that works just like the 0.M or the rerouter or the one-shotter shield, but instead of giving you any amp damage, it guarantees a critical hit. Kind of like Megavore, but guaranteed every single time that that amp is ready. Now, one thing I want to point out is we definitely do not need any bonus damage attached to this. This shield would be deadly on weapons that have unlisted projectiles. The King's Call, the Scourge, the Plague Bearer, all of those bonus projectiles would probably have to like auto crit as well, right? And on top of that, just having synergy with Jacob's Ricochets, Moses' skill redistribution, Brainstormer chains, and I want to point out Hollow Point, a Guardian rank skill that causes an explosion on kill that gets all your overkill damage and splash bonuses. This skill actually wipes out groups more often than you kind of maybe realize while playing. I'm sure some of you have noticed this. So this shield would seriously not need any bonus damage at all. Guaranteeing crits with the right weapons is way more than enough. Plus there's bosses like Wotan without a visible crit point until after he splits, and then we have like class mod rolls, random skills that boost your crit damage. This just seems like a pretty spicy, once again, like a spicy option that we could add into the game, and it seems pretty cool to me. Even though, like I said, it's not defensive and doesn't have like a visual impact on the battlefield, it was an idea I had, so I figured I'd include it last. So there it is. That is my list of top 5 shields I would love to see added to this game. Like I said, I know the last one wasn't as defensive as the others. It was just an awesome idea I had. I want to know your guys' ideas for shields like this in the comment section down below, or if you have any improvements to my suggestions. These were kind of just ideas I came up with, you know, real quick. I didn't put like any like super deep thought into this. I even mentioned with that corrosive slip and slide shield, you know, I already foresaw like a problem with its effectiveness up front. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and please try to keep in mind what I said about physical gameplay loops that you can interact with. The stopgap is just as good, if not better than the Frozen Heart. I guarantee some of you guys think the stopgap is better than the Frozen Heart, and in some circumstances, it most definitely is. But I love the gameplay loop that the Frozen Heart offers, rather than playing with the stopgap, because like I said, it is just like a physical thing. You can see it around you. It freezes enemies so that you can easily crit them. Like, I love pairing the Frozen Heart shield with weapons like the King's Call, because King's Call can be kind of hard to crit sometimes, but on a frozen enemy, they're literally just sitting there for you to shoot them in the face. So that's what I want to read down below. Let me know what you guys think. Also, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed hearing some little theory crafting from me, and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. That is pretty much going to be it from me, guys. I can't wait to read your guys' ideas in the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.